So here we are, it's Saturday, April 22nd. I already did a video on the bees. So it's Earth Day. So again, we got the Earth Day beehive and hives way out over there. So everything's awesome with that. We're about to attempt a major project. This is the start of Emily's welding table. This is a massive undertaking, at least from my imagination. One, everything weighs a ton, literally, and I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But here's what we're building. Sorry to spin around that quick. This is a guy that she saw on YouTube design this, and I guess she's been talking to him. But he was kind enough to print out the plans, so we've got a cut list. And I've got a 20-foot trailer loaded up with steel, along with a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of 3/8 steel. I think that sheet weighs somewhere around 650 pounds by itself. And then this welding table is going to be on casters that you can level. Again, massive project, and I've never done anything like this, so we'll see how this goes, and Emily will get some practice on her welding and get everything going. So what this stuff is, this is 3/8 inch thick, 4-inch flat bar. And we've had to cut all these pieces. There's a bunch of these to go. And what Emily's working on right now is this is a support for the top of the welding table. So cut list, we need 4 pieces at 92.5 inches. 12 pieces at 14 1/4 and 6 pieces at 14.375, so whatever that is in imperial. So that's what we're working on. That's what we've got cut so far. And the hot rod's about to cut another piece. So that's how you move a 600-pound 4x8 sheet of steel. We got a little dog on that with a tow strap, and just gonna slowly move it over to the barn. Obviously Rudy showed up. I'm gonna cook a nice steak dinner tonight, just hang out with him, and he wanted to see what we were up to. So get this thing on there and see what's next. So fast forward, it's Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. We got the plate metal in here, so Emily's taking a wire wheel to it and putting a little bit of, I think, mineral spirits on it to try to clean it. Probably start welding on it today. She's back there cleaning and tidying up the barn, and what I'm working on is finishing this up. So one of my little small projects that I did is I got those railroad ties laid out, got them staked in with rebar, and I'm about to spread gravel over there. So that's what we're doing. And she's tending to the little herb garden and peppers and tomatoes and all that. So that's what we're doing today at Deer Run Farm. After getting this mess sorted out and this whole place kind of cleaned up, we're back at the welding table. So those are the supports. Emily's about ready to start building the first of the 2 supports, because what we're going to do is build 2 of them, so with the vertical pieces. And then what the YouTube video shows is that once you've got the 2 sides built, then you tack in the ones in the middle. So that's what we're doing right now. We're about to start welding on that.
Forgot to change my helmet setting. Almost forgot.
with all those tacked in place, I think she'll go along and probably weld up both sides of it, and then we'll put the top plate on it. But it's up to her how she wants to continue. Jumping ahead a little bit, I think it's Monday, May 1st. Still working on Emily's welding table here. When you start to weld metal, it can sometimes pull and bend, I guess. So you try to weld opposite sides. I think we talked about that before. But either way, no matter how much we try to get them at 90-degree angles and all that, it still kind of pulls and twists. So what you're seeing here is my ingenuity of using ratchet straps to try to pull and twist and get it all square, plumb, straight, all that good stuff. So it's done a pretty good job because this thing really was tweaked and twisted before we got the straps on there. But so far so good. Next, what we got to do is pull these individual pieces in the correct way, and then Emily's got to weld each side of those. So good progress, but it's a big project. So the other thing is Rudy came by and dropped off this much larger welding machine, which Hot Rod there is having a great old time. And again, to get those things straight, we're just using these ratchet straps to pull them straight and get everything back to 90 degrees. But I think Emily's found a new favorite toy.
Lincoln.
There you go. She's also got her anvil stand pretty much done, except for some finishing touches. She found one of the Harbor Freight anvils, which is pretty cool. But that's her antique anvil that's actually going to go on that stand. But she did an awesome job with it. Just got to finish that up a little bit. But right now, the welding table is what she's working on. Cleaning up the legs so she can eventually weld them to the frames of the table. So here we got Pete Repeat over here. Rudy came over to help Emily make sure that the tabletop is nice and tight against the frame for the table. So basically they're working their way around that C-clamp and tightening everything down, and then they'll work their way this way. So it's a good thing Rudy's here. Can't thank him enough. Waiting on Emily. So what they did is Rudy made these C-clamps. You cut the C-clamp in half.
Yep.
And then you put the piece of flat bar on it and basically make a tool. You weld that flat bar to it and then you can clamp and pull this all together. So now what Emily's doing is going around and tacking everything.
We got one out there.
And then once everything's tacked in place, it's pretty much like caulking. She's going to go around and caulk the heck out of it and seal it all the way up. And then we got to put the legs on.
Yeah, I'll give you an A on that. That'll do it. Get the corner.
So now what we had to do is we had to improvise on the casters here. So we ended up welding the caster directly to the leg versus putting plates on there and then bolting them on. I think it's just one less step. But if you ever have to replace a caster, it makes it more time consuming. But now Emily's tacking the legs onto the corners of the table, and then we'll tack the middle ones on. And then we got to build a frame going this way, down the middle, that way. And then also put little pieces in the middle there. So it's getting closer. Definitely one step in the right direction.
Get a little more there. Get up on top of that tube. You got too much. Alright. Let's see.
Yeah.
Tag the bottom corners.
Oh my.
Hang on. It's good enough. It's in the line.
Top.
Stop. Yeah. Now, that piece of tube you had, we need to get it and put it on here and over there.
So there we got everything tacked together for the main supports. Now we gotta do supports here, here, there, and there. And then the legs will be all tacked in, and then she'll have an hour or two of welding to get all that finished up. So there we got those supports. What we're gonna do is a half shelf. So that's all good. Gotta put this one in place. And then again, she's got a couple hours worth of welding, but she's getting low on gas. So I gotta go to Thomasville and get another cylinder of MIG gas. There you go, it's all tacked together. So continuing on with the welding table project. This is like 2 weeks in the making. Emily, again, is gonna put all this together, which I guess I don't need to say because I've already said it once. All she's got to do is just finish tacking everything up and reinforcing the legs, and then we got to figure out how to stand it up. Continuing on with the welding table project. Everything's been tacked, everything's starting to be welded. Emily's doing some vertical welding, I guess, working on reinforcing the legs, the sides of the table. Rudy came over here, was helping her out, he just left. But maybe another hour worth of welding. We'll have to figure out how to turn this thing right side up. We should have filmed it, but we got it turned over. Unfortunately, because we were turning it over, I figured the priority was making sure it went well versus trying to film it. Really need a full-time videographer. But other than that, she finished welding up everything. So all these she ended up doing on the top side because they were on the bottom. Got those welded. Now she's just cleaning it up. She's going to put a kind of cleaner on it to keep it from flash rusting. She's also going to wire wheel weld this stuff and then paint the legs. But table's pretty much done except for some final touch up and paint. Awesome. Great welding table to have out here at Deer Run Farm.
Okay. Yep. You can feel the magnet engage.
So fast forward, it's Thursday, May 18th, 2023. The table's pretty much done except for the shelf. But we got the grid there with the clamp. We still got to put a shelf down here. Rudy's come over to help put on the bench vise. So still got one more bolt there. But other than that, the table's pretty much done. Rolls super easy. The casters again have these little ratchets on it. And these little ratchets, you can raise and lower each individual foot to level out the table. That way your projects are done. The other thing she's gonna do, wire wheel all this, and then she's gonna paint it black. And then again, a shelf here. But that is one heck of a welding table. It looks like something you'd strap Frankenstein to. So when we have our Halloween party out here at Deer Run Farm, we're gonna have to get a Frankenstein.